Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on another video. Now, today we've got some pretty big news that may not be true, and maybe it is true. The news is that Chandler Jones has requested a trade from the Arizona Cardinals. Now, earlier today around, noon, is when I got on Twitter and I saw that one of these sources, I don't know the name, that kind of sounds like it's not a reliable source because I don't know the name. It's verified. So, and I've gotten some things from them too. But there's now, the NFL Network is covering it. Bleacher Report is covering it. ESPN has released an article on this. It sounds legitimate. It's not some guy from Facebook. But no. Chandler Jones has requested a trade. Now, I've kind of developed my own opinion on this already. And not really an opinion, but I've developed a analysis on this, I should say, because I've gone through multiple sources. And one being, which was ESPN, which is obviously a very reliable source, is that Chandler Jones did request a trade, but that was in the offseason. Now, they're saying he's requesting a trade because he's unhappy with his contract situation. And that's, I guess whatever. That seems to be the case with a lot of NFL players now. It's, I guess, just not good enough that they're getting paid, $50 million? They need more, apparently. They need more money. Makes sense, A guy who didn't see any action last season because he was hurt, and he's kind of aging. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very big fan of Chandler Jones. You kind of grow a connection to these guys as you watch them over the years. And this is the case for most Cardinal fans, but it would really break my heart if Chandler Jones did go because he's one of my favorites. The guy almost put up a record-breaking season in sacks. He almost broke the record. He almost had, I don't know if he had 20 sacks and then needed 24. Or I think he had 18 and a half sacks or something like that. But still, an incredible season. He was 4 sacks away or something like that from breaking the record of most sacks in an NFL season. But as we know, last year he did not see any action due to an injury that he suffered, I think, week 1, week 2, something like that. But that's also kind of a reason to not pay this guy even more money because we're not sure whether he's healthy or not. But what I think we should do is keep him because he is expected at training camp. We're not gonna trade him going into the season. It makes no sense. But we should keep him until the trade deadline, and then if he's performing well enough, we can extend his contract. I'd be totally fine with it. Or we can decide to trade him for a stud like Xavier Howard, who is also could be on the move. And Xavier Howard is a star cornerback, which is the exact thing that we need is cornerback. I know we've kind of filled some holes there, but we still need it. None of these guys are studs anymore. We don't have Stephon Gilmore. I've heard some Cardinal fans talk about potentially trading for him. Forget about it. The guy's way too much money. I think I know he's good and really good. I just think he would be a bust, end up being a bust. So I don't think it would be a wise decision, but maybe Steve Keim thinks so, and I'm not there to dictate anything. But let's go back to Chandler Jones and his situation. They said that he did request a trade, but it was in the offseason. So that could have blown over by now. Or it could just be all these sources, all these big tech, Bleacher Report, that other source I got it from. And again, I know that sounds like I don't know where I'm getting my stuff from. This is a reliable source. But no, this could very well just be them trying to stir the pot. This is what these guys do. They stir the pot. That way, if you need big information, what do? You go to their website. So you can't take anything too seriously. Now, here's another thing to consider. If Chandler Jones really requested a trade, what would these other NFL teams be doing? Immediately on the phone. Hey, Steve Keim, I want Chandler Jones. I'll give you this for Chandler Jones. I need Chandler Jones. And what happens when that happens? Adam Schefter is over here on his phone tweeting that the whatever team is looking for Chandler Jones, is interested. Why hasn't that happened? We would have already known this. And the fact of the matter is, we're not ready to trade Chandler Jones. It kind of came out of the blue because I've heard some potential trade talks with him, but it would be the Cardinals moving on from him because he's getting paid too much money and he's taking up a lot of cap. So that situation it was kind of vice versa. It ended up Chandler Jones not saying that he's not getting paid enough and wanting to leave Arizona. I think it's a dumb decision. Yeah, he's got his ring. He's probably just money chasing now. But I mean, that would be a huge blow if we were to trade him. I mean, we have no other replacement. Now, we're going into the season. I think training camp is starting in like a week, 2 weeks. So the season is right around the corner. Preseason actually is like 2 weeks. That might be what I'm getting, what I'm talking about. But we're not going to ship away at week 1. We need this guy. So that's why nothing's going to happen. I don't think any Cardinal fans should be alarmed just in case he actually might sit out. I don't think he'll sit out. He won't sit out. He's not that type of person, I don't think. And that's another thing. I hate people who sit out. It's like you're getting paid millions. You're a multi-millionaire, like $50 million a year, and you're sitting out because you need an extra $5 million, $10 million, $15 million. People are losing their jobs because of this whole virus. And you're over here, you're sitting on top of the world, and you don't want to play because you're not getting enough money. Oh, poor baby. Poor Aaron Rodgers not getting enough money. Poor Aaron Rodgers not happy with the situation in Green Bay. What else does Aaron Rodgers want? I may do another video on that because I hate Aaron Rodgers. But this video is not about Aaron Rodgers. This video is about Chandler Jones. So let me get back to why Arizona Cardinal fans should not be alarmed. Now, unless he sits out, which I don't think he will, he's not going to get traded before the season or week 1 or week 2 or week 3. It'll go up to week 8, which is the trade deadline, week 8, week 9. And maybe we'll trade him. But if he's performing like we know he can, then we'll keep him. I mean, we'll give him the money he wants if he's playing like it. But he hasn't played. He didn't play last season, and I know last season it was a pretty tough season, just because we started the season out 6-2, and almost made it to the playoffs. We were one game away from getting in the playoffs, and how quick people are to forget that. But I don't know. But what I'm saying is he won't get traded tomorrow. He won't get traded next week. He won't get traded in 2 weeks. He'll get traded at the trade deadline, or we'll extend him. So this is just my message. This is my analysis on this, my opinion. Don't be alarmed. I don't think this will go anywhere. And keep in mind, this may be media just trying to stir the pot here. So you can never trust them. You know, they want their source to be the biggest. So thank you for joining me, and have a good rest of your day.